welcome to my spiritual sanctuary. My name is Sandra. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to all the newcomers. If this is your first time here at my spiritual sanctuary, I want to say thank you for stopping by. And if you are coming back, welcome back. Glad to have you. It's been a while. It's been about a month, and I know I said I was going to take a couple weeks off, and I decided to take a couple more weeks off because I have been having some really profound experiences that I will share with you a little bit about what I've been experiencing through the holidays and also for the last 2 weeks. Now, with all of the situations that we have going on in our external environment with politics here in the U.S., of course, it's been a little disturbing for a lot of people, but I think that it just didn't seem important to do a Feng Shui video for the last few weeks, really. However, today I am being guided to get back on schedule and to do my Feng Shui Friday. So welcome to Feng Shui Friday if this is your first time. We're so glad to have you here. Now, what I kind of thought a little bit about what I would talk about today, and I was up at 4 a.m. this morning studying with my master teacher, Joey Yap, in Malaysia. He was teaching us on the 2021 Feng Shui and Astrology for the coming year. So it's kind of motivated me to get out and do this video today to kind of get out there and let's talk a little bit about 2021. I know I talked a little bit about it before I took my sabbatical, and I think the last time I was on a video was the 15th of December. And I had told everybody I would take a couple weeks, and then I ended up taking another couple weeks because, to be honest, I did have, my back was out over the New Year's week, and so I was trying to rest up and get my back to normal. And then also I was experiencing some really profound things in my life. So I'll talk a little bit about what's been going on with me. I've had, ever since 2014, I went to Bali for 2 months to work with a group there, and I was working with one of my master teachers, Christopher Howard, and he does a lot of work with NLP and hypnosis and wealth strategy and just changing your mindset to live the life of your dreams and to be the best version of yourself, your best potential. Well, I went to Bali to intern, and I was a sales professional and a business consultant for him there for 2 months. During that time, I started having more psychic abilities open up. I was having premonitions and dreams, and I actually had a feeling that my father was going to pass, and I didn't know why. I had no reason to believe that, and that was in April of 2014. I flew immediately to Florida after that, and came and stayed with my father, and he did end up passing in December of that year, and it was just very much a surprise. However, I was able to spend a lot more time with him than I normally would have because I lived in California and he lived in Florida. So these gifts were starting to open up for me, and I was using the gifts that I had had from when I was a child. I was quite psychic as a child, and every time I would bring my premonitions or my experiences to my parents, or specifically my mom, she would hush, 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 don't talk like that, don't bring those forward. You don't know that for sure. And so they were kind of squashed down for me, and I just kind of let that gift go, really, to be honest. Although I always had this intuitive sense and always worked from my intuitiveness, and had really upgraded my intuition to a point where I could see things that were going to be happening in the future. However, I never really talked about it much. And because I thought, of course people are going to think you're crazy, right? However, after my experience there in Bali, things really started opening up for me. And again, I was spending time with my father and he passed. And over the course of the last 6 years, since he passed away in 2014, my intuition has been really speaking to me and opening up. And as I have been meditating more and praying more and connecting with my divine, as you know, if you've watched my videos in the past, I'm always having intuitive insights and fine-tuning that part of myself, my higher self, and my connection to the divine. So over the course of the last month, I have been exposed to a lot of things that have come forward that have really amped up my psychic abilities to a point where I'm now able to tap into the other side. And I have been connecting with my deceased husband and my father and my loved ones on the other side, and it's becoming very profound, and the paranormal activity is becoming so much more that I cannot ignore it anymore. So I have, or I should say my husband put in front of me somebody by the name of Matt Fraser, who is a psychic medium. He's very well known and very, very gifted. And this is his book. I would like to share it with you because I have read it, and it's very good. And when I started reading about Matt's experiences, I realized that that was really what had happened to me, is I had these gifts from the time I was a child that I had just shoved down and not really paid attention to. So these gifts are starting to really open up for me, and I'm really able to tap in, and I am working in cohort with the divine, as I have been, and also my deceased husband, who passed in 1980 from a car accident, and my father, and a lot of my deceased loved ones are coming in, and now I'm starting to get messages from other people that I don't know. And so it's becoming quite profound. And so what I've been doing over the course of the last month is I've just been quiet and keeping quiet. Over the holidays I was alone. My family's in California and they were on lockdown. I had planned to go there, but because of the lockdown, I decided to stay, and we decided to play it safe this year. However, I think it was all lining up for me to be quiet and still in order for me to really experience this new ability that's coming forward for me. And working with the fifth dimension, and working with the divine, and working with my deceased loved one, especially my deceased husband, bringing forward the bridge between the two worlds of the 3D and the 5D, which I've always walked between both worlds, and now it seems to be elevating in my ascension process to a point where I'm really tapping in to that energetic influence from the other side. And I've decided, which the information came forward during the grand conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn, and that came forward to me on that specific day, that I was to write a new book. My second book, is, some of you know, I've already wrote one book on grief recovery called Unlocking the Grief Code, using mind, body, and spirit healing solutions, healing from the soul level. And now my next book is going to be about my walking between the two worlds and bringing in information from the fifth dimension. And a lot of this is being channeled from the other side. So I'm not even going to talk any more about it at this point, because the information is coming to me in bits and pieces, and it's helping me to understand more about what it's like to be in the afterlife. And I used to have a lot of fear around the afterlife, and I'm afraid of death, and like most of us have a fear of that. and I can see that that's being lifted from me. Not that I am very healthy. I don't have any reason to be afraid. You know, it's just that I think that there's information that wants to come in, and I'm just going to allow that to happen now. So that's what I've been up to. So, you know, also there's another book that I'm reading that's very good. It was recommended by a reverend from Unity Church, and it's called Money. A Happy Pocket Full of Money, Infinite Wealth and Abundance in the Here and Now. It's a very good book. I would highly recommend that as well. Everybody needs more abundance and prosperity in their lives. So I've really been going within a lot, and with all of the events going on in our external world, you know, I really have wanted to not really partake in a lot of the violence and all the political agendas out there, and I really have wanted to just connect with the divine and be in peace and harmony with the higher realms, my higher self, and that's where I've been. So if you were wondering where I was, you know, I am back now with Feng Shui Friday, and I am going to start doing some readings next week, and I will see where that goes. And there's some other things that I want to bring forward. I will be talking more about the experiences from the afterlife and how that's all culminating into my ascension process and your ascension process, if that's what you're desiring. So one of the things that came forward from the other side, and I want to share this with everybody, is once I started experiencing this new energy, it became very clear to me that my mind was free. My mind is free, and that's what they're telling me from the other side, is when we can increase our vibration to a much higher level, then our mind becomes free of the encumbrances of all of the stress and worry that we're all going through today. I mean, I don't know if you're experiencing a lot of stress. I imagine a lot of people are out there because the lockdowns are now in the second round. I know my teacher Joey in Malaysia, they just are in a second lockdown. I know my family in California was in their second lockdown. Here in Florida, we're not locked down, but everything's restricted. You know, that's certainly not life as we have known it. So a lot of people are having financial issues and things like that. So I think the main thing that I want to get across to everybody today is that by elevating your mind to a place of inner peace, going within and shutting out the outside world, and to going into meditation and prayer, is going to really help you to get through this period in time that so many are experiencing so much turbulence and uncertainty. And let's face it, there's a lot of unknowns out there right now as far as how our economies and things are going to move forward. Now, there are things that we can do to be forearmed, as far as moving forward, and that's where the astrology comes into place, the Feng Shui, and just utilizing those tools that we can use, that we have control over, instead of trying to control people and places and things that we have no control over. So the best thing to do is to control those things that you do have control over. So one of the things that came to, actually my daughter brought it to my attention, and I wanted to talk about this thing called clairsentience, okay? And when you're in meditation, you may feel that your body is vibrating, okay? And if you are in that kind of a zone, just know that is the best place to be to receive your intuitive insights from the divine. And I guess sometimes if you have a a picture of what that might look like as far as the energy flows throughout the chakra system and throughout the energy system, then maybe in some ways when you are going into prayer and meditation, then you can kind of visualize that coming forward for you. You can put yourself in a bubble of protection and white light so that it keeps out all the negative aspects of what's going on in our world around us. So clairsentience, that's the most natural gift of psychic abilities, and that's the ability to be able to feel and sense other people's feelings, or being in a room of other people and feeling like, oh, this doesn't feel so good, or being around different people and feeling very tense or anxious or just uneasy. And just know that you do have the ability to put yourself into a bubble of white light and put yourself in that aura of protection. And of course, it's best to start eliminating those people, places, and things from your life if you can, because we are in a release mode right now, and we're moving into the age of Aquarius, as I've talked about in the past. The energy is very different, and it's important that you do protect your energy flows. Remember, we wake up with we have 24 hours in a day, and we wake up with 100% energy. Where are you going to flow that energy as you move through the day? That is something you do have control over. So don't allow people, places, and things to drain that energy flow, because that's what creates illness in the body, okay? That's what creates dis-ease, a dis-ease. So pull your energy back, put yourself in a protection, a bubble of white light, and just protect your energy as we're going through these very turbulent times, okay? So that's just a little piece of advice for everyone, okay? So one of the things that I learned this morning was that the hexagram of the day is number 23, and it's erosion and decline. And what it says is now is a good time. Now is not a good time to go anywhere, okay? And that's very true. That's kind of where we all are right now with this COVID thing. This is a phase, and this is taken from the I Ching. As you know, I've talked about the I Ching and the Book of Changes and the Unchanging Truth. This one happens to be by Hao Ching Ni, and I'm probably not saying that correctly. There's many, many versions of the I Ching. But when we're in a period of decline, then what it does say is that it's time to stay within and to stay stable. And renewal is associated with the month of January, when the yang energy first starts to assert itself again. And remember that in a situation of decline, the condition will always change to one of revitalization and new growth. So it also goes on to say that any situation that has one portion of virtue combined with 5 portions of evil is a dangerous one, and everyone must face the inevitability of a decline at certain times in their lives. One cannot always expect to rise, but decline gives way to renewal, like a bare tree blossoming in the spring. Thus, this guides us to an understanding of the causes of the decline and the erosion and how to deal with it. So in such an overwhelming situation, one should gather one's energy and not confront the evil directly. Storing energy in difficult times enables one to prepare for the renewal. So by going within and spending time alone or within your family or within your bubble or whatever, is really it's healthy and productive right now, because what's happening is it's making way for the renewal that's going to be coming forward next. Because these are cycles that we are in, and just know whenever we're in a decline, then the renewal is the next cycle. So one who lives a life that follows the fundamental integral path develops gentleness and self-containment. Thus, no negative force can destroy its balance or its composure. So what it says is, when you're centered in yourself, nothing outside of you can change that, no matter what happens. Okay? By not directly confronting evil in these circumstances does not mean admitting defeat, but is simply only the strategy that will assure victory in the long run. This is basic spiritual principle for handling all confrontation and strong negativity. Maintain balance. And that's what Feng Shui is all about. Maintaining balance. So, I think what our hexagram today is telling us is, during unfavorable times, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to stay grounded, okay? Centered. And the way to do that is through your meditation and prayer. Get into a daily routine. For me, it's writing in my journal, gratitude journal. Every day, writing down 5 things I am grateful for. And writing down about my thoughts on a daily basis, and what my thoughts are, and just allow the automatic writing to flow. That is what's coming through the divine and through the other side. Those that know all and is the one soul and the one vibration of all that there is. That's where the strength and the courage comes from. Not from the 3D world, not this world of the senses, but of the unseen world. So when you can tap into that, whether that's God, Buddha, Krishna, whatever it is in your tradition, whatever deity you pray to, whatever it is, it's going to give you the strength and courage as we're moving forward in these times, because we are not out of the woods yet, okay? So 2021 is not going to be easy, okay? The ox, we're moving into the year of the metal ox. And the ox is an animal that works hard, okay? And has a lot of strength at the same time. So the divine is asking of all of us to get into our courage and our strength, use our imagination, look for the synchronicities in life, be in the flow, don't try to force things to happen. Look for the signs of how you should move forward, and just allow things to happen, and don't try to force or resist, because ultimately everything happens for a reason, and it's always bringing us to a better place. Even though we can't see it at the time, we have to know that's what is coming for us. So I hope that helps you today. I know for me, I've given it a lot of thought, and for me, it's really helped me a lot in dealing with being without my family, going through a very difficult time. I've gone through most of this COVID alone. So after releasing a relationship last year, early in the year, in March, April, it was a total shift for me. Even in my career, I left a career of 5 years that I couldn't stand, and I'm so glad I did, because it has made such a difference in the way I'm moving forward in my life. So you may feel that way too. This may change everything, and it's the only way to do it with grace and great love and stay grounded and balanced is to not fight it and to allow it to take place and allow it to happen. And then take action when you know you should in the right direction, when you feel like you have control over what you are doing with your life. We have no control over anybody else, only ourselves. So we have the healing cards, right? So I always pick the healing cards for us, and these have been cooking for, a month now. I haven't picked them at all. So let's see what the divine wants to say today to all of you for the coming weeks forward. Okay, and so we have Rochelle, and Rochelle says, as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. That's awesome. So there we go. We're following the heart chakra from now on, right? Not the mind, as the fifth dimension has told us. My mind is free of worry because I'm following my heart and my way forward. And prosperity will follow. Okay, so let's pick 3 as I normally do. I know the camera's kind of jumping around today because I'm using my phone. Okay, wise decision. And this is your guardian angel telling you that the information that I'm sharing with you today is wise. And if you are trying to make a decision out there, just know that it's important that you go within and you will make that wise decision, okay? The wise decision. You will know what that is. You'll be divinely guided to make the wise decision. You know, don't make the decision off your thoughts. Look at the long term and make those decisions from a place of wisdom and from the heart. And here we go. We have a healing card for everybody today from Saint Padre Pio. He's the great healer. Everybody's getting a healing today as a result of my message. So that makes me feel great. I guess it was wise information that I was passing off to you for healing. And please follow your heart, because as you follow your heart, the prosperity will follow. Prosperity isn't always about money. Prosperity can be about anything. Relationships, health, career, children. It could be about anything. Knowledge. So that's the Feng Shui message I have for everybody today. Now today is the 3rd Friday of the month, and you know I always do the Feng Shui Friday videos on the 1st and 3rd, but because I did not do one on the 1st of January, being a holiday, then I will be doing one on the 29th for getting ready for the New Year, the Chinese New Year, which starts on, the solar one is on February 3rd, and then lunar is on the 12th. So February is a big month. We have a new year coming up. And one other thing I would like to leave you guys with is I'm giving a special for my astrology readings to get everybody ready for 2021. And the information will be in my newsletter if you get my newsletter. And the link below for my mailing list is below, so sign up. If you are on my mailing list, you'll get this information as well. but I am giving a special for astrology readings for 2021. So that will prepare you, get you ready for the year ahead. And just wanted to let you know about that special coming up, okay? If you have any questions for me, you can email me at myspiritualsanctuaryinfo@gmail.com. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have, and we can get you scheduled in for an appointment right away if you'd like a reading. I am available for Feng Shui consults, and I will be saying more about 2021 coming up. I'm not going to do anything about it today because I want to finish my teachings, my new teachings for 2021 that I'm learning over this weekend. And I have some new information that I'm going to be passing on next week, okay? So stay tuned for my videos. Please like, share, and subscribe if you've liked what you've heard today, if you feel like it would benefit somebody else that you know. And if you hit the bell, you'll be notified of my new videos coming out next week, okay? So it's been a joy and a pleasure to be with you here today, my friends, and I feel so happy to be back. Happy New Year, happy 2021. Let's make it a great one, okay? Namaste, my friends.